Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about a concept called the 3 R's from the Millionaire Fastlane. Millionaire Fastlane. So this book right here by MJ DeMarco, I'm not sponsored or anything. This book right here is like pretty life changing for me because uh, as like a young teen growing up, young adolescent guy growing up, it really changed my perspective on money, and it really shapes your belief system about how money works, or you know, it changes everything around you. And of course people are going to have like the surface image about how money is like a very materialistic object, how money can't buy happiness and all that shit. But I think if you're like a young man and you're navigating through life, money should matter to you. Money should be important because nowadays, I mean, that's the fucking currency. Also, what I've learned from this book. And the Millionaire Fastlane basically changes your belief systems about money and time. These two things are the most, how do you say, they're like the prime focus of this book. They explain how money is abundant, right? There's a lot of money out there, right? This building where I'm at, this room, everything's made out of money. But the time is pretty fucking limited, right? Time is very scarce. Even though you're gonna live for like 80 years, right? You have like a good 20 years sleeping. So like it really brings those things into concept. And the 3 R's, which I was supposed to talk to you about today, is repeat, reward, and retire. And this goes on with every single project or every single endeavor that you've ever done in your business. And these 3 R's basically depict what are you gonna do next, right? Say for example me, I'm a young guy, right? I make some sort of money, I make $50. I have three options to choose from, right? I can either repeat it and make more money. I could either reward myself or I could retire, right? So of course I'm not gonna fucking retire now at 16, right? But the other two choices, reward and repeat, what does it mean? Repeating is basically once you've gotten a certain amount of money, like $50, you scale it upwards. You keep scaling upwards. It's like sort of climbing up a mountain, right? You keep repeating the process until you're satisfied with it. And the other one, other R, is called reward. Now, what does reward mean? Reward could mean, giving yourself a little bit of a break, right? Although nowadays we celebrate like a lot of hustle culture, we celebrate, work 24/7, no sleep, no sleep, no grind, right? I think that the factor of rewarding really puts in a time of place where the individual can really, how do you say, he can really comprehend what he has done, right? In the sense where he can have time to be grateful about himself. So when he's rewarding himself by, it's the smallest things, from going to this coffee shop and like having a coffee by himself to reward himself, or it could be like a big party. You could bring all the fucking bitches and you can bring all the girls in. You can throw a big party as a reward as well. And there's also like materialistic possessions, right, that other people might get jealous of. It's like, okay, you got into a certain level after repeating so much that you can now reward yourself a new car. You can reward yourself like fucking Ferraris and these like big supercars. And the thing with rewarding is, as I've mentioned before, it gives you a sense of gratitude for how far you've come. And I think, you know, as well as I like to, work a lot, I like to, work on my music, think about things. As well as I like to work a lot, I think you should also learn how to play a lot. Now, playing in the play a lot, playing in the sense of work hard, party hard type of vibe, right? I think you're supposed to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? But of course it should be in moderation. And of course, if you're doing bad habits like taking drugs, if you're drinking, you have to raise your hand. Like I said in the previous video, you have to raise your hand and hold yourself accountable for what you do. And the third one is retire. Retire basically means, as it means, you quit, right? Once you've repeated, once you've rewarded yourself, and once you feel like you're at your peak and this is your pinnacle, you can retire. You can quit, right? And this really brought me into question all the time, because every time I would finish a task, every time I would, get a sale, or, get some sort of revenue, right? I would always think about repeating the process or rewarding the process. But lately, I thought about the third concept, because I never really took into consideration. I'm like, I'm fucking 15, bro. What do I have to retire for? There's no need to retire right now. And that really put me into introspection, because imagine, right, if I had all the money in the world, right, and I don't need to work anymore, right? So I don't need to repeat anything. I can reward myself as much as I like, but there's of course an extent to how much you can reward yourself. Like how much clubbing and how much partying will really, give you pleasure anymore. So I thought to myself, what if I never worked again, right? What if I woke up from my bed and I have to do nothing? I can just lay down. I mean, I've made everything, right? I've made it. And that really put me in a perspective, because I still don't want to retire, right? Even if I had all the money, I would still want to work on something, because it's really cool, because everyone really wants to, get rich quick. Everyone wants to do this, everyone wants to do that. But there's also a certain amount of enjoyment in the process, because I don't want to wake up like and there's nothing to do. I don't want to wake up when I'm 40, 50, right? And I have no work to do. I think even though like I'm at like a stable position, I still have to work more, right? And the concept of retiring never really works about me, because I could never just imagine taking a day off or taking a vacation on whatever I do. Sometimes, I'll miss my habits. Sometimes I'll play a little bit of video games. This AC is too fucking cold, right? Sometimes I'll go outside, but I could never just wake up and tell myself that you cannot do the good habits anymore, right? You have to retire from everything. And so the 3 R's is a very great concept that I really appreciate from The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. I'll just leave the book cover here again in case you guys want to read it. There's PDFs and everything. Have a good day.